Ransomware is no longer just a database encryption issue. So nowadays, ransomware is an existential threat because all the data that you have and you are putting in your e-commerce websites, you're putting in a lot of business websites, all of them are being stored. And now, in the era of data, this is increasingly important to safeguard your data and prevent ransomware. So we have built RanSafe, which not only just solves the ransomware issue, but also makes it much faster than humans. So have a look at the terminal. So we have both the terminal based thing for servers and also have a GUI based thing for the users. The critical gap basically is that the data is being sent via the all the ransomware stuff. Whenever there's an attack by the ransomware, the time taken for response by the humans is much higher. So we are planning and trying to reduce that time from minutes to seconds because those seconds are actually what matters. Because according to research, 3 minutes is all what it takes for a ransomware to literally steal all your data and just put it up on the web. Now, how does our system work? Our dashboard basically is on the left half of the screen. You can see that it's a terminal based thing. So it is for the admins and the people who work frequently in the terminal. And the RANSafe GUI is for a more polished experience. But then the terminal gives you a lot more flexibility, opportunities, and you can see a lot more stuff going on in there. Also, because it's on the terminal, it's much lightweight. It is written on Python rich, so it is very lightweight, and you can literally run it all the time for a monitoring thing. Okay, so let us begin with OpenTelemetry. So, like whenever we launch the orchestrator, we're going to start the orchestrator right now, and so this basically we are trying to show the dashboard, and we are trying to see that there's a real-time telemetry, there is an emergency containment, we can see live SRE logs. So whenever there is any failure, this tries to log and keep all of them in track, and that way we will be able to see what all happens in real time. So we are trying to start an orchestrator. Under normal conditions, our Node.js microservices are working normally fine. System trace are directly sent to Dynatrace. Our Model Context Protocol MCP fetches this telemetry via Dynatrace API, and we track three critical signals. So the first of them is the CPU load, and the second is the write cycle, and the third is the entropy, like file system entropy. So CPU load, if you see little earlier, yeah, CPU load was 25%, which is the usual CPU load that you see on servers, and also you can see the disk operations are pretty low at about 15 per second. Also, the file system entropy is little low, and that is just a metric that we are trying to calculate based on the changes that are being done to the file system. So once we've run the orchestrator, as you can see at the bottom, the CPU load shoots drastically high, and it shoots up to about 90%, and your as you can see right now, it's going to change to about 92%, and you can see a lot more write cycles at about 480, and also that we can see that the file system entropy is really high at about 0.94, which is a metric that is used to calculate all of these things that we are going to do. And it checks that there is a ransomware signature, and the human in the loop is just going to just accept that, and we're going to send this as a validator to Gemini, and from that there's an isolation directive. It retrieves the secure validation token from Google Cloud Secret Manager and authenticates the containment execution. So when you give it to the Gemini, this recognizes this high entropy signature, and that way, once authenticated, RANSafe triggers execution gateway to perform live state mutations. On the dashboard checklist, you can see the containment phases, as you can see on the green. The orchestrator injects cloud armor, denies policies to block external ingress, deploys VPC firewalls, and also revokes IAM service account bindings to prevent lateral movement of the access. Also, it evicts the compromised Kubernetes pods, and also now with the infected container, it's completely isolated, and the orchestrator triggers a clean replica deployment to restore service availability. RANSafe shifts the cybersecurity containment from timeline from minutes to seconds. As you can see that human in the loop, humans trying to do this is going to take a lot of time, and that we have automated this, it's going to be very, very fast and very, very easy. Also, you can see that now the ransomware is contained, and according to the demo that we've seen, we can be rest assured that the data will be recovered within the 3-minute limit that we've established, that the ransomware is going to take for completely taking all your data away. Now, with this, we can assure you a much higher chances, and also because there's a human always monitoring this, it is going to take, it's going to be much safer as compared to human errors. And also, the AI is not going to make silly errors, like because humans are going to be monitoring it. There is always a cancel option where if it's not a ransomware, and if it is, let's say, a usual migration of data or something like that, we can temporarily disable RANSafe, or we can temporarily stop it from understanding what our processes are and what the ransomware actually is. Also, we have an option to stop the Kubernetes pod migrations and all, because you wouldn't want to do that whenever there is a small ransomware thing. If it is possible to stop it without doing that, it is trying to do that first. Your terminal admin gets the options to choose yes or no to do all of these things. So you're gonna get a lot of control on how to solve the ransomware, but also all of this is going to be done pretty quick to make sure that the issue is resolved within the time required to send the data away to the web, and it's gonna cause haywire. So with this, I would like to end this presentation saying that ransomware is a must-have with the agentic data era, where every there's nothing called privacy, there's nothing called anything. All the data is on the web, so you want to keep it pretty safe, and hence I would say ransomware is a must and have. Thank you.